Okay. It's live on Facebook, just so you know, and it goes on YouTube.
Okay. All right. So
There you go.
here I am, all fine and fit, ball in my hand when a man offers to play me one-on-one for my heart. And I can't help but laugh because he don't even realize that I will break his along the way. See, the last man who thought himself mighty enough to take me down is still picking up his ego and his ankles, called himself the shooter, but didn't know my namesake is more than just for a stage, that my mid-range and my mouth are one and the same, silent but deadly. So I hit him with a pump fake and called him stupid as I scored. Fade away and smile, this pretty little smile that made him look my way, but he don't find me nearly as sexy when the shame sets in. After all, this woman embarrasses him with his friends watching, says he let me score, that he doesn't get anything from beating a girl, as if high school championships and two Division I scholarships have ever needed his permission, as if we ain't playing this game because he wanted my number and my draws in the first place. But here I am, all fine and fit, ball in my hand and a tongue as cutthroat as my crossover, ready to remind him that he ain't half the man or the hooper he thought himself to be, and the basketball game becomes a cage brawl. Fist fight and foul every chance he gets, then claims it was just an accident, like he wasn't trying to injure me to relieve his insecurities. I guess he figured if he can't beat me, then maybe he could beat me. And here is where the poem takes the twist, where the irony sets in, because when I say ball is life, what I mean is I know girls who gave guys buckets and were gifted body bags, who said no to a game and ended up in a grave the same way. I know that women with the highest accolades attract men who want the men who want to humble them or put them in a cage, that a woman who makes more money than her man is more likely to be a victim of domestic violence. I guess he figured if he can't beat her, then maybe he could beat her. See, a man will see a woman all self-assured and sure thing and think conquest, think competition. But when he can't win, will resort to violence, and the basketball becomes a balled fist. A woman's success becomes the iron sharpened in her boyfriend's hand, sharpening the knife in her boyfriend's hands. That a man who wants your number can be your worst nightmare and your husband, your biggest hater. You know, once I played a game for my heart and I let a man have it, and he thought he was all prime time AI and me, Tyron Lue, the fool he could walk all over, but he learned the hard way that my hands and my hand to be lethal, that my tongue and my tray be a dagger bigger than his dick or his ego would allow, that I would rather lay a man up than let a man lay up under me in a house I pay the mortgage on and think himself king of my court, of my home, anywhere I go, because a king ain't never been shit to a god. And what is God? But the girl you can't get, the girl you can't guard. So fuck I look like letting a boy, fuck I look like letting a bum who can't ball play on my heart. Hold on. I see y'all in the comments. Thank you so much.
I told y'all wasn't ready. Listen, the only thing I could think of when you was reading that poem was this whole situation with Gabby and not Gabby,
No,
uh,
Simone Biles.
Simone
And her
Biles and her
man talking like
man.
you don't know her. Like, girl, how you don't know Simone?
Like, knock it off. All right, yeah. Stick around because she is going to knock our socks off a little bit later. Thank you for opening this up. We
Yes.
got 5 people on the list so far. If you would like to read, drop your name in there. I got the list there. And up first, we got my poetry boo, Kelly Mary McAllister. I probably spelled her name wrong though. Yeah, I did. I put 2 C's. There's only 1 C. It's McAllister.
And
Um,
the most holy of McAllister times of year. I will say Home Alone is a little bit like a documentary in that they nailed the McAllister vibe. Too many children, too much noise, can't keep track of everybody. Okay. Are we doing one or two today, Shockie?
Um, so 5 minutes.
Cool.
So what yeah, 1 or 2, but if they're short too.
Awesome, awesome. All right. This is a reworked version of a piece that I've done in the past. But I've been working on it a bit, so we shall see how it goes. It's called Obese. 1 second. What is happening to my hair? I look like I'm in Flock of Seagulls. Sorry. Obese. In a forgotten photo found in the closet that serves as the designated tomb of my childhood, I am wearing a dress I remember well, remarkable only for how utterly ugly it made me feel. It stretched taut across my belly, cradled the soft swell of baby fat swaddling my middle, its straight lines incompatible with my new roundness, the encroaching curves of a woman, curves that could not be hidden by that simple striped dress. I was a whale, I'd thought, a beached whale. I don't remember learning that phrase, but it echoed whale, insistently whale, in my head, whale. It lived inside me as fact, grew roots, became my very own tree of knowledge where I gorged myself on its poison fruit for decades, my size as my sin. Part 2. The snake that lived in the branches of the tree of the poison fruit serenaded me as I ate, hissing songs of self-hatred in my eager ears, of my gluttony, my greed, my selfishness. This snake in his song broke me down as he had broken my mother and her mother before her, as he said that he decided her value, not she, and that she could not have too much of anything, especially herself. So we learned to eat our own, taking out our softest, our softness before a predator could do it for us. An act of kindness, do you think? Or simply practical with margins for survival so thin? Despite all my best efforts, I remained stubbornly soft, reduced to numbers in pounds and pants, in the goddamn BMI. Numbers that were too large, too much, that made me not enough. Part 3. Humanity has fooled ourselves into thinking that we are greater than beasts in the wild, as if we are ruled by reason, solely by reason, impervious to those songs of snakes, hiss deep inside, sibilant melodies of need, of want, of fear, of scarcity. And since the evidence of my overconsumption sits upon my very bones, too big to be ignored, I have borne the weight, the disdain, the scorn of the whole of humanity. I have been judged weak by those whose own overconsumption, their greed, their gluttony, their selfishness sit not on their bones, but on the other side of a globe, or a landfill, or a poverty line. So they have been able to hide from the weight of their actions. But I am only one woman, just an average girl, in an average dress, in an average life, doing her best to simply survive. Perhaps the weight that has hung my head so low for so long was never just my own.
Beautiful, beautiful. What was your decision to make that 3 sections?
Because I was focusing it from 3 different perspectives. The first was a very personal perspective of memory and sort of re-experiencing. The second was a familial perspective, that this is a learned behavior. And the third is a societal perspective, that this is a societal problem. It's so often just considered a personal issue. The obesity crisis is just a bunch of lazy people who can't get their shit together. But when you look at it, it is a societal movement. It is a societal thing. And yet we continue to treat it as a personal moral failing, as opposed to a systemic phenomenon that is occurring, be it based on a number of features that are potentially outside or at least alongside personal choice and accountability.
Facts. I won't get into my own personal, but yeah, that I like that piece. Have you read Rachel Wiley's book, Fat Girl Finishing School?
I have not, but I'm adding it to my list right now.
Yeah, you should.
You should pick up some Dade if you ever want something fluffy.
I should get a what?
You should pick up Olivia Dade if you ever want something fluffy.
Okay, Olivia Day. I will do so. All right. Did you have another piece, or was that your piece?
I have another one, but it's long, so don't worry about it.
Okay. If we do a second round, we will do that. All right. So up next, we got Robert. What's his name today? It was something weird. Let me find it. This guy. Robert Doodle Blue Burger. Blue cheese burger.
So good. The blue burger.
Blue burger.
Made with the blue cheese.
Do you need to share screen?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Good evening. I'm Robert Fleming, a visual poet from Lewis, Delaware. I'd say about 3 months ago, I added a new publication goal for me, which is to try to publish in the top 100 art and poetry journals. The first one that I submitted to was called Hole in the Head, and they accept art. I made 2 art submissions, which were both rejected, and this was one of them. 2 days ago, I submitted this to a magazine I've been publishing with now for 3 years, called Synchronized Chaos, and it was accepted in 2 hours, and it will be published on January 1st. So I went back to my true. This was inspired by my trip to Colorado in October in the Rocky Mountains, and my imagination about an end of the world event. April 1st, 3026, Rocky Mountain Report, Robert Fleming. The title of this one is Mountain Goat is the Last Carbon. And this one is called End of Mount, brought to you by Boost Oxygen Canisters. For those of you who have been fortunate enough never to struggle with breathing in the mountains, you may not know, as I didn't know, what Boost was. It's oxygen in a can, and it weighs nothing, and you just push it to your mouth and breathe. It's like having a portable oxygen. And this one is called RuPaul's great-great-great-granddaughter is crowned Miss Rocky Mountain. This is the last snowfall. And this is Mount Elbert at 14,440 feet above sea level is the new sea level. So I will also put in the chat my my visual poetry book, which was published in November. And thank you and wish you a happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays to you too. Today is day 2 of Kwanzaa, and I'm a butcher at Kaguchi self-determination. Day number 2. All right, thank you for that. I'm now going to remove you from co-host, unless you decide to come back. Up next, we got Gustav Zemegas, who is also, if you guys are not aware, the New Yo stopped their Monday nights online open mic, and Gustav has started their own to replace that with open minds open mic Monday nights at 8. So Gustav, are you there? Did we lose you?
Yes, I'm here.
There he
Greetings,
is.
poets. Greetings, beloved poets. It's good to see you all. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy New Year coming up. I have one piece for you. It's relatively long. It's called Visions of the Future, a cento for David Bowie. We are confronted with two dramatically opposed visions of the future. Under pressure that builds a building down, splits a family in two, puts people on streets. An open, tolerant society that values the rights of all individuals. We can be heroes forever and ever. Or a repressive, intolerant society that devalues women, minorities, and the LGBTQ community. They'll split your pretty cranium and fill it full of air and tell you that you're 80, but brother, you won't care. You'll be shooting up on anything. Tomorrow's never there. Beware the savage jaw of 1984. Fascism is on the march, and we must stand in firm opposition to it. To be insulted by these fascists, it's so degrading. And it's no game. I will fight to my last breath for the brighter future where all people can live free. I demand a better future, or I might just stop wanting you. I might just stop wanting you. Please make sure we get tomorrow. All this pain and all this sorrow. I demand a better future, where everyone can express their gender and sexuality as they see fit. Rebel, rebel, you've torn your dress. Rebel, rebel, your face is a mess. Rebel, rebel, how could they know? Hot tramp, I love you so. Where no one who claims to speak for some God can impose their will on us all. I'm afraid of Americans. God is an American. God is an American. I'm afraid of Americans. Where all children can live free from the omnipresent fear of gun violence and death. Young American, he wants a young American. All right. Well, he wants a young American. Do you remember your President Nixon? Do you remember the bills you had to pay, or even yesterday, where everyone is free to vote and participate in the marketplace of ideas? I'll stick with you, baby, for 1,000 years. Nothing's gonna touch you in these golden years. Gold, where the earth is respected and cherished as truly sacred. For here am I sitting in a tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Will you work for this vision of a brighter future, or will we be led into Gilead's dismal embrace, a jackboot to the face for all eternity? For this is not America. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la. This is not America, no. Or freedom for all. The choice is as stark and as simple as that. I feel free. I feel free. I feel free. The future's unwritten, so let's write a better one. Thank you.
Thank you. Were those all David Bowie songs? I don't listen to Bowie. I don't know any Bowie songs.
Those were all David Bowie songs. Yes, excerpts from, for example, I Feel Free is a Cream song that Bowie covered. This Is Not America. More Young Americans, all David Bowie songs.
Okay. One of them sounded, it may have been a cover though, Elton John song, but that's what I was asking.
Sounds a little bit like Elton John, but it's not. It's I'm blanking on the name of this song. It's killing me. I'll get back to you.
All right. Thanks. Don't forget to drop your your Monday night open mic in the comments for us, please. Granted, you don't need any advertising. There was like 40 people when I went in there the other day. All right. So up next, we got my brother Nemo Soon, and then on deck is Generalissimo.
Thank you, Shockie. It's great to be here. I have a microtriptych built of pieces I'm working on finalizing. And then I've got a short piece that's an older one of mine. My decorations are staying in the closet this year. Packed up pieces of a previous life. My childhood decorations are in a box in my mother's garage somewhere. They haven't been unpacked in 30 years. My children's tree has 20 years worth of celebrations hanging on its branches. But there aren't pictures of me in the house anymore. And I have to drive home after they've been nestled all snug in their beds. I got blown free by the explosion of another family. Or maybe I was cast out far enough that the place I lived is only a speck in the distance. Or maybe that's a tree. I never wanted to be cold again, walking these empty streets. I never thought I'd be standing on the wrong side of the glass once more, looking into what it must be like to be together. Loneliness has been sitting with me lately. Sometimes he holds my hand, and there's something strangely reassuring about his cold and constant grip, something that feels like home. He sings softly his song of seclusion. The simplicity of isolation can be so seductive. Just let everyone go and never have to say goodbye again. And this poem is called Lost. Lately, I can't find my words. They used to come so easily that I could choose the perfect ones. I get others' words stuck in my head. Songs and slogans, their sing-song simplicity stuck on repeat, saying nothing over and over. But my own are missing. The other day, my doctor asked if I felt afraid. I tried to explain that I have an urgent need to not be wrong anymore, that I feel unbearable. But he just nodded and we moved along. Abandonment runs in my family. My people don't say goodbye when they leave. And perhaps that's because they don't have the words. So maybe I am afraid. Maybe I don't know what I'll do when the next big wave hits. Maybe I feel like my determination is waning. Maybe I fear that my mind will crack again, and what I say will only serve to send me to a place where my words mean nothing. Thank you.
Damn, that last one, like every single time that line gets me. They don't say goodbye when we leave. So hauntingly beautiful. Also, Nemo, you see, I got a new beanie. You gotta get your hands on this one too. I'm gonna bring you one when I come in April.
Thank you.
So up next we got Uncle G. He is the host of Cafe Generalissimo on Mondays as well. That would be prior to Gustav's show. I'm nervous, that's why I keep messing your name up. I'm sorry. I think it starts at 5:30 Eastern time. He'll put his information in the chat. Uncle G, you there?
I be here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna read this first. I'm gonna have two pieces, and I was gonna read the first piece. I was only do one piece, but the first piece I didn't because of the piece Kelly read. So this is in my book. It's called Cursed Word. The dirtiest word in the English language is a 5-letter word. This word is a technical medical term that doctors never dare say to their patients, but gets written repeatedly in medical charts. This word and its 7-letter cousin are a scourge on American society. People labeled with this word get labeled lazy, shiftless, and employment risk. This word crept into my identity in my mid-30s. No one I knew was afraid to use this word by saying one of more than a dozen friendlier synonyms. This word has stuck to me with reckless abandon. I wear it as much as it wears me. It isn't imprinted on my face like a facial tattoo. It isn't branded on my upper arm like a fraternity omega. It isn't etched into my chest with a razor blade. No, it sticks to me like a good stink, a skunk spraying, a burnt Thanksgiving dinner, a bad batch of moonshine. Everywhere I go, this word tells people I am a waste of space. It wears me as much as I wear it. I have fought with this word for over 16 years. It branded me a criminal without committing a crime. I feed it constantly. Its hunger is insatiable. This word is a parasite that has dug in deep to insert itself into my identity, yet it is not on my driver's license or passport. I want to eject, evict, and eviscerate this word from my life. Easier said than done. Even if I shed this word, it will be a permanent part of my history. Everyone who has known me by this word will remember my long-term relationship with it. It is a technical medical term that only I can erase from the vernacular of my medical chart. I am not fat, chubby, chunky, corpulent, hefty, husky, plump, portly, pudgy, stocky, stout, or big boned. I am much more than all that. I am the dirtiest word in the English language. I am obese. And I rarely read that. Maybe I might read it once or twice a year if I even do it that much. And this next one has been sitting around for probably 7 or 8 years, and I've never read it. So it doesn't have a title yet. Sometimes a recurring dream that isn't a nightmare never becomes a nightmare because it stops short from being a nightmare when you wake, because there's a part of your brain that refuses you the flashback part of the dream that makes it a nightmare. I would wake from the dream, my body shaking and my breath labored. This dream that was clearly a memory about that summer after my first grade year. My brothers went to sleepaway camp in Georgia. I went to that day camp at the fancy boarding school in Jacksonville, across town from where we lived. My mother would pick me up a little later than the rest of the kids because of her job. I was clumsy and painfully shy with learning and motor disabilities. He took me under his wing, sort of. He was a smart, funny man, the director of the camp. They called him the Major. I would be waiting on a bench. Someone would say, "The Major wanted to see me." I would walk through the metal safety door to the building which housed science classrooms. The dream started as I walked up the narrow stairway, my hand gripping the wooden rail, my Kmart sneakers tripping up the stairs. Each stair had a brown-ridged rubber non-slip pad glued to it. At the top was a waiting room with an orange vinyl waiting room couch with fake wood arms. The secretary had gray hair and a bun and cat-eye glasses attached to a chain. I never saw her face in the dream, just like all I saw of me was my shoes. The walls had framed Audubon bird drawings that were likely pages from a book. The secretary told me how special the drawings were. She received a call on her rotary phone and told me I could enter the Major's office. I saw my bony 5-year-old hand turn the knob. I saw the wood front edge of the fancy desk. Then the part of my brain that prevented the dream from becoming a nightmare would wake me. I had these dreams after my family moved to Mobile from Jacksonville. They felt frightening but never came to completion. I was too young to understand why I would wake night after night, shaking and out of breath, after this relatively innocuous dream. I knew exactly where it was, but my memories of that summer were blurry at best when memories of the previous year in Jacksonville were unobstructed. As an adult, I have wondered why I have such vivid memories of the 3 years prior. My family lived in Puerto Rico, but much of that summer in Jacksonville was surreptitiously erased. Somehow these dreams continued to haunt me during my waking hours over 47 years later. I want to fall asleep and learn the truth about what happened in that office. I can't know if my parents found out after the fact it was 1973. I can't know if they decided it was best to let sleeping dogs lie. It was 1973. We were already moving to Mobile, Alabama. It was 1973. Nobody else ever had to know, especially me, if my brain had already decided for me.
Thank you. And definitely thank you for that first piece. That was, you guys are trying to make me cry today, but I'm not going to because I'm a thug, basically. You can get General Simone's book. Everything I think is all in my mind. By messaging him.
Yeah.
What was that?
He can't move.
Come on, Jeff.
Jeff, okay. And everyone needs to get Shockie's book. I believe it's called, what is it called, Shockie?
It don't matter. So now we are going to get into our feature. Because I know she has to leave early. Marissa. So I'll want her to come on, LeChell, the shooter.
Space for one more. Go ahead, slide one more in there, and then I can hop on. Oh, go for it.
Back to what I was doing. Don't, I said 5 people. We made an agreement.
Okay.
Now you're gonna make me look like the bad guy.
You're true. You're right. You're right. You got it. You win.
All right. Slam champion, finalist for WAPs the last 3 years. Am I right? 3 years?
Yeah, I'm a 3-time finalist. I am.
3-time finalist. What? She said that with all her chest too. Okay.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Definitely been fangirling so much. I'm begging her to help me hopefully become a finalist on WAPs this year. Wishful thinking, wishful thinking.
You got the poems. Up to you now. You got the poems though.
Right. So I hope you guys enjoy. Also, LeChell, if you could put your Cash App in the comments of the chat. Again, this mic is free, but if you would like to throw a few dollars her way as a tip, I'm telling you, once you hear her, she's so fire, so fire. You're gonna want to buy her a coffee or a beer or something like that. Just send it to her Cash App. And whatever. Do you have a book out?
I do. I do have a book called Jaywalking. Shockie's, your title of your book actually does matter. It's called In Lieu of Flowers. So like we can all celebrate our books here. Shockie's included. So hopefully, if you enjoy mine, I'm sure you will enjoy Shockie's as well. And vice versa, there's room for all of us.
I need a copy of that, but I'm gonna let you do your thing.
All right. So most of you here I don't know. And so for those of you, because I believe it's the majority of you, a little bit about me. So I am a mom. I used to be a wife. I have a regular ass 9 to 5. Of course, I'm an artist. And Shockie told me I was pretty earlier, so I would agree. But the question that I get asked most often is like, how do I do all of it, right? And most days I want to say I'm just built that way. That is something like I'm something like the shit. I'm cut from a mother who knew the grind like it was one of her children in a city that makes sleep a luxury most of us can't afford. I'm just built that way. But the truth is, I ain't. The truth is, I've been running on 100 since I was 14 because I've been running from 1,000 other things and I just haven't found the courage to stop yet. To sit still in that silence screaming, girl, you are not okay, but you just keep on pretending to be. Keep on letting them see a superwoman and you're such a damn good performer that they're starting to believe in unimaginable things like it was your poem that saved a life today, that it was your energy that brightened a room today, that spawn of steel and battery of a heart ain't broken and running on E. Yeah, we all love a superhero, but even Iron Man doesn't make it past infinity. Truth is, most days I just want to be a woman, soft, loved, and vulnerable enough to fill up on both without feeling guilty that my mother didn't always get to be, that my grandmother didn't always get to be, that most of the women who look like me don't always get to be because there's work to do. And heavens be damned if a Black femme don't get the job done. And truth is, I do it in pieces. I'm equal parts insecurities and Brooklyn swag, a little bit of doubt, but just enough determination to get things done. But I'm always wondering which side of me people will notice today, because truth is, most days I am just the insecurities. That 14-year-old girl determined to fit in, running from all her Black and all her queer and all her femme, just hoping that no one sees that I still tremble at the thought of messing up at being a mom, that I never feel worthy enough for love, let alone capable of being someone's wife, that I'm desperately trying to be. I'm smart enough to fit in most of these rooms and always questioning if my work will mean anything, especially when I'm gone. And most days, I still have trouble looking at myself in the mirror. So when people ask me how I do it, yeah, I want to say I'm just built that way. But the truth is, I ain't. The truth is, I do it in pieces, and most days I wake up, force myself out of bed, and pray that somehow they'll just fall into place. Poem. So that's like this introduction poem that I like to do just so people kind of get a feel for who I am and some things about me. And when I went back and looked at this poem, I just found it really interesting because I start with the fact that I'm a mom. And like motherhood, if you know, or if you're a parent in general, parenthood sometimes takes over your whole identity, especially when you're a mom. Like suddenly you're just like this child's mom and not like the person, right? Like you're no longer yourself. You're just somebody's mom, always somebody's mom. And so like I write a lot of mom poems. And so I have this quick poem about like motherhood and snapback culture and how it really just used to really it triggered a lot of postpartum depression at the time. And so the category be runway and the body be snatched and the motherhood snaps back, waist clench and grab like she don't remember her heavy. She got a bend and a squat and a grunt to burn the baby fat away with shallow praise. Girl, what baby? You don't look like you got no baby. And the category be rolled. And the stretch marks and the cesarean scars don't make the cut. And the loose skin belly be the meme that all the girls gagging, the skinny girls are gagging. Can't catch a breath with the way the fat phobia got them in a chokehold. So the mommy can't catch a break. She got to nurse and work and clean and still make time for the gym to get back that post-baby body, give them body and pose, but a baby on the hip don't make for good content. So I'm not hiding my kid from the world. I'm hiding the world from my kid because the world ain't ready for the MILF with plush and gut. Don't like to be reminded that God be alive and the tummy flab and fat want the birthing hips, but too ashamed to hold on to the love handles that often come with it. So she got to bend and squat and grunt to burn the baby fat away, find validation and shallow praise. Girl, what baby? You don't look like you got no baby. Home. So that's just a quick one about like motherhood and how awful it can feel sometimes. Um, and so that's that. Another interesting thing about me that I didn't actually mention in my introduction poem is that I do identify as a queer woman, and it's very interesting being a queer identifying woman, marrying a cis heterosexual male, and navigating that relationship. especially as somebody who grew up in the 90s and, born and raised in the 90s, Brooklyn, New York, homophobia is very rampant. And so I'm just getting to the space where I'm finally able to like stand inside my own truth. And so a part of that is like grappling with my identity as a queer woman in religion. And so the funny thing about that is that I often get asked this question, why am I no longer a Christian? Right. And when I'm asked that question, I just find it very interesting that people like that, like feel the need to ask that. But like when I'm asked why I'm no longer a Christian, I reply, I do not know how to give my life to a religion that always demands my death. To be a Black queer woman is to die 1,000 times in the name of Christ first, that I be mother of men and still beneath them. Would rather me a martyr than a matriarch. Say my vision's too feminine to lead the likes of men, but I've said many amens in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And I realize now that religion has made a dead thing out of me, how easily I am erased, that I willingly mispronounce my own name. I never questioned why every demon be dark-skinned devil devoid of feelings. Kept asking someone see my humanity, but found every holy war needs an enemy. So I lift my hands in service and surrender. Let my peace be the only steel ready and aim to make hollow ground out of me. They told me I was only good enough to play the pipe piper, to direct all of God's children to heaven's gates with a song, that this gospel be a gay one, but always finds ways to excommunicate the gay ones from its glory. Yet they'll tame me to break every chain, but I have never felt more shackled than within these four walls. And I tried to pray, but my pastor kept reminding me my body's too full of sin to be saved. So I leaned on my grandma's praise to be my protection, but she was the first to tell me loving a woman was wrong. I wondered if I could never find favor with God because I could never be favored in my grandmother's eyes. And now I'm swallowing guilt because I've learned not to speak ill of the dead. So how do I grieve her loss, but celebrate that I can return home with a woman on my side and not find the hell in her words awaiting me? My mother was the first woman to ever love me, but even she can ask a question, make a comment that chips away at my soul. Are these the good intentions that pave a hell-bound road? I traded my queer for a wedding band to a man whose heritage teaches him to burn every butty boy. So if his wife was too weak to fight her flesh, perhaps divorce was the only way to save herself. Seeing how redemption commands, I rebuke myself, so I find purity in the flames. Be a Black body burning by the cross. My second baptism felt like another homo drowning in her own blood. The only time I saw a light was when an angel in a white coat tried to call me home. I lost my grandmother, father figure, and husband within a year. I went scouring scriptures to understand why. I tried to find God again, to find hope in a hallelujah. I looked for a blessing, but my body screams blasphemy. So when I am asked why I am no longer a Christian, no, I did not choose to be an unnamed thing. I was born the unholiest of trinities, and for the wicked, there is no mercy. Poem. So this is my last poem. I thank y'all so much for having me. So like I gave y'all kind of like this mini story about who I am in my life and all the things that's been happening. And one thing about me, first of all, is that I don't like to end on like bad notes. I like people to feel hopeful when I walk away from that. And that's something that I carry with me, like anywhere and everywhere that I go, that like when I leave people behind, what is it that I'm leaving them with? And I just have made this choice that I don't like to leave people with like these extremely heavy things or this hopeless feeling, so to say, as especially like poetry can feel very hopeless and very heavy sometimes because we're telling stories that we don't often get to tell. And so that's a really big thing for me. And so like just thinking about like this is the end of the year. People have survived it, like everybody here has survived another year in a, inflation and everything going wrong. And so much about that just requires a lot of fucking courage. And so this is a poem about courage. I wrote a poem, I performed it, I competed, I gave myself a chance to be great and I enjoyed it. I panicked, but I did not quit. I learned when to quit, when to give up. I broke up with a man I loved because he told me he wasn't ready and I believed him. But most of all, I believed that there was someone else willing and able to love me. I broke up with a woman I loved because I wasn't ready. I could not love her because I did not love me, so I loved myself. Took myself on a date without my daughter. I let myself exist for a moment just for me. I went to the gym. I ran a mile, even though it's the slowest I've ever been. I played basketball again. I missed layups and laughed at myself despite the disappointment. I walked around my house in a bra and panties again. I brought a bikini for the first time in like 9 years since my body learned how to give and heal itself. And I still haven't actually worn it. But baby steps. I wrote my best friend's name into a poem. And it's the first living thing I've had of him in 11 years. And then I gave myself permission to cry for all the pieces I've lost and the parts of me they took with them. I wept for myself. But most of all, I wept for them. I did not coax my way out of feelings with false positivity. I felt something. And then I called up my homegirl and told her I needed to vent. I asked for help. I made my way out of isolation long enough to trust someone with the gentle parts of me. I let there be gentle parts of me and unclenched. I said the word bisexual and I didn't flinch. I did not bite for blood. I did not break myself into two as if I had to choose, as if I ever could. Being whole just seems like the only logical thing to do. So I hand wrote thank you letters for every person who's changed my life in amazing ways recently. And I haven't stopped being awkward enough with my vulnerability to actually give it to them yet, but this is a poem about courage. So the little things, they matter, right? And then I held myself and I let someone else hold me too emotionally, but also physically too, which is kind of a big deal because touch does really interesting things to me. I embraced a hug and I stood in it. I did not retreat with a smile to hide the horror. I smiled because I wanted to, and then I did not smile because I did not want to. I was honest. I'd let my body do all the things that it wanted to do. I said what I wanted to say, and I meant it, y'all. I was honest, not just with my words, but with the way my body moved, not just with other people, but with myself too. And so I shed the cape. I fell from the sky and became a mere mortal. I considered the end and I smiled at it. I considered suicide, but I did not commit suicide, y'all. I survived. I cried. I wept. I failed. I failed, and I got back up and I did it all again. And it felt natural, like sadness, like hurt, like fear. But this be a poem about courage. And I told myself I have it. And I know that it's mine, even if I still have to work mad fucking hard to live it every day. But baby steps, right? And so that is my 15 minutes, guys. I really appreciate y'all.
Hold on. 'Cause I got a request.
Yes,
You're allowed to say no. I know you gotta leave.
you're fine
But
with
will you do 2 poems for me?
2 poems. Oh, what? Let me hear what two you asking for. It depends on the length of these poems. What poem you asking for
And I
here?
mean, and in my defense, Kenneth something just entered, so he missed your
That's
feature. So
crazy.
doing 2 pieces, you're kind of helping him out
Wow.
too.
Okay. What pieces are
The
you
two
requiring?
that you, one that you read a lot lately, Save Me, and then my favorite one, Joy Like You Supposed to.
Oh, I haven't done Joy Like You Supposed to in so long. That is a fear assessment. I have some time, so I can do that. Save Me is my baby because it just has a really good message to it. Enjoy Like You Supposed to. I haven't done in a really long time, so I think I can squeeze those in for you, Shockie, because I bang with you, and because Kenneth hopped on and Kenneth, I don't appreciate you coming late and missing the whole feature, but it's okay.
You want
It's okay.
CP time?
It's okay. On CP time. It's okay. It's okay. But yes, we can do that. So Save Me. Let's start there because Joy Like You Supposed to was a little more hopeful. And like I said, I don't end on sad notes. So let's start with Save Me. If I ever have birth complications, save me, not the baby. And I know this causes controversy because how dare a woman value her life? Choose staying alive instead of being a sacrifice, but why should I die for a motherhood I can't partake in? Bless this world with motherless children. Have you ever asked a child what it's like to celebrate their birthday on the anniversary of their mother's death, to look in the mirror and see the monster trying to convince themselves that they are more miracle than murderer sentenced to a lifetime of guilt in a prison cell called home? Funny how we find fatherless homes so detrimental to the community, but so comfortable watching the mothers die, even for children we have never seen. Like, y'all don't even know these babies. But there are women suffering because abortions are not an option, who still give birth to stillborn babies. But one girl says, becoming a mother, you must be the most selfless version of yourself. Says it is selfish not to want your kid to flourish, but what flower has bloomed without the gardener's hand? Without the help of the God who put them there in the first place, what can I give if I am already gone? I have never known a baby mothered on memories, to remember a goodnight kiss from a ghost, yet they would rather send me to my grave than see me as someone worthy to save. But one man says she's useless at this point. Don't think she wants to risk having a baby again and again. The wealth is written into my womb, but the woman be disposable. I guess a body bag can be beautiful when it's paid in exchange for a baby that rotting meat can smell edible, especially when it's simmered in Similac. But don't I make death look pretty? Made up in maternity and call it magic. Black mama magic and dissipate. Ain't the way I poof and disappear just another name for the Black maternal mortality rate? But is it so selfish to want to survive, to be seen as something more than a toe tag and a footnote for the children I birthed? Ain't I somebody's baby too? And my mother died enough times to keep me and my siblings alive for the same men who would collect insurance and a new woman, but not the children I leave behind. Will they still be worth your sympathy then? Will you prod them when my cold hands love them in all the ways I will never get a chance when they are swaddled in systems of legalized abandonment, pacified with parent after parent and foster care cradled for a check, human trafficking by another name, adoption? Will they still be worth your sympathy then? No, I didn't think so. So like I said, if I ever have birth complications, somebody please save me. Home. And then this last poem, and that's all I got for you, Shockie. That's all I got. That's all I got. um, so birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. So my grandma say, there's a certain power that comes with owning your joy, so you better joy, baby. Joy like you supposed to. Let that melody on your heart finally free, sing, off key. Spread your wings and let that summer breeze caress your every limb. Move. Let your hips sway side to side like there is not a single man lurking in the shadows to steal what's in between them. Joy. Like you finally got a chance to dance with your father. So every tear you ever cried for every time he walked out the door is drowned in soulful songs of Luther Vandross on the radio. Joy. Like the scars have finally healed, and you can finally show your inner thighs to the man or the woman that you love without being afraid that they will walk away, or like you did, and they chose to stay anyway. Traced each scar with their fingertips, kissed their way into memorizing each scar like a map straight to their hearts, to their homes. Love like you supposed to, like your mind has finally learned a new language. Stop translating sorrow into suicide, but instead into survive and to live life like you supposed to, like this is all there is and all there will ever be. Girl, you deserve that kind of happy one that makes your photos jealous, because they too will be reminded that they are not enough to capture, to contain, or your glory or your joy without an apology in your body. To every bone break, to your heartbeat beatbox attune, your children's children can find the rhythm to joy. Like you still just a little girl in them Brooklyn streets, double dutching your way into a trophy. Like you just crossed a nigga up in Dean Street Park, so you just got a nigga nickname. And that means you won't get picked last no more. Do you remember that kind of happy smile? Because you want to, and not because a man told you look better that way, or because it's the only thing standing between life and death. When he cat calls out to you, laugh from the depths of your womb. Let them butterflies flutter and rumble. Black girl rumble. Like you finally got, like you got a whole sister circle in your channel, in your corner, chanting an old Negro spiritual of A. And yes, sis, so you know your championship's coming, joy, because it's here. That new dawn, that new day, the one you fought for, prayed for, girl, you deserve it. You deserve that kind of happy, so joy, like you supposed to. Okay, now I'm done for real this time.
Yes, I won't ask you to do more.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So beautiful. Y'all unmute and give it up for LeChell. And definitely put that Cash App in there and let's get her some tips.
Amazing, amazing, amazing,
Wow.
amazing,
Yeah. Spectacular set.
Incredible.
Wow.
Thank y'all so much.
Yes.
I'm
And
listening to
you
all
got
that.
so much love in the chat, so check that out before you go. But definitely, if you guys got it, even if it's just $2, send it her way. Everything counts, you know. And she got a baby. It was just Christmas. I mean, it's not a baby, but it was just
It's not a
Christmas.
baby.
We broke. Send her a little something, something.
Oh, and
The girl is from Brooklyn, okay?
And she just bought a new
That
bike, and the
that
bike
was
was
one
expensive.
thing.
Wait,
not
but
Kenneth Smith
Erica, she
That,
left. Erica, she
that
left. You
I
don't
am
get to tell her she left.
officially one of the dykes on bikes. Yes, I am.
girl,
Yes.
girl. For one, two, your delivery. Oh my God, it's like just having a conversation. It just seems so natural.
Oh, thank you so
I
much.
love that. I love
Thank
that.
Thank y'all so much. I will be chilling in the background until it's time for me to go and listening to more poems. So I will be listening, taking notes, being inspired. So let's keep the open mic going. Thank y'all so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. So, as stated, let's keep that open mic going. Up next, we got my other brother, Priceless. You still here, bro?
Yes,
And
I'm here.
I'm gonna tell y'all, Priceless just within the last week put up pre-orders for his book. I cry over spilled ink. Go pre-order that book. I'm telling you, that's fire. I hope y'all know when I say something's fire, it's fire. I hope this showed you that when I say something's fire, it's fire. Um, but yeah, Priceless, bless us, please.
Okay. All right. The ALA's Office for Intellectual Freedom reported 695 attempts to censor library materials and services, documented challenges to 1,915 unique titles between January 1st and August 31st of 2023. Is this how lips lock? Get shackled to melancholy, hog-tied to remedial, got caught kissing First Amendment red tape, how ink becomes weary of readers, shies away from teaching cursive. No signatures are needed on pages that'll be rewritten out of history. This is how they got away with naming my people bywords, erasing language, legacy, lineage, life, and land, elves lined up to end in loss of identity, losing the location where our beginning ribs first wrote us into existence, made us forget where Eden resides. Must have changed its name to Negro, Nigger Island, Colored Bay. This is where melanin crumbles from the deafening, cracking cringe of colonial greed. Makes you wonder if it was swallowed by the Black Sea, how these bones have no country, just be called black. Sick of being attached to escape swimming, labeled super criminal, thug, African American, Africanus, and Vespucci, branded on our backs like Greek letters and old plantation stamps. Where do we really come from? a plague of a question, an epidemic of filed away reality without a vaccinated answer morphs into a spinning compass that only stops in its rotation when pointing back to missing feet in Jamaican caves. I guess this is why I write. Every day I fight to be immortal, have to be accountable, be diligent, punching this clock with purpose, brewing this ink in my veins, waking up with the intent to grab my pen, a keyboard, recorder for these thoughts, shaking this voice into convulsions of truth and vivid light, whipping these fingers to build dreams to fruition, writing in the direction of forever, the altitude of free, choking out any excuse to dispute this word, to find the end and surpass it. I'm trying to make this time count. Push, push it beyond the limitations of this life to show our children that their voices have meaning, no matter how many try to censor their truth. Funny how, as the vulgarity of music increases, the more they try to rewrite history, from novels to textbooks, using trap and drill to silence facts and unity. Radios and television aren't even censored anymore, with the exception of fuck. I guess fuck is worse than throat babies and truffle butter. Sarah Bartman must be ashamed, watching WAP drown out morality, values, sleeping with the fishes must be the reason I write. Keep hearing the ghost of Tuskegee scream to tell me censorship is the new syphilis. They keep experimenting with our standards. Wonder if James Baldwin is rolling over in his grave, wishing he never came back to America, or if he was writing so my pen could work that much harder against these injustices that set out to murder free thought, free speech, must got a target on its back, must have been hit with the 3 strikes law, lethal injection in the neck of unpopular opinion, sick of being told shut up or die, silence or bondage. Writing has turned from literary expression to throwing bricks at the jail. Well, I guess it's always been this way. Poet versus oppressor. We say we write to bring love back to life. They say we commit treason. Pens full of biochemical warfare. Winner of game is who gets to write the narrative first, or who owns the distribution. I guess I better put these feet to work. Can't give the eyes a break. The difference between right and wrong is not the side that has the most money, won't spend another dime to see the future fail. Be damned if another coin is used to fill the pockets of distraction, paying attention even if it costs me my life. This is why I write until fingers swell and carpals collapse under the weight of our voice. Peace.
The weight of that black noise.
Good
Right.
Lord. That was awesome. My God.
Man, I tell you, as a poet, when you get around other poets, you want them to kind of push your pen. But I tell you, Priceless, he pushes you not only your pen, but in other ways as well. I tell you, this man always has something that I need to work on with my poetry or my website or my page. And I just appreciate him. So thank you, Priceless.
He's making me want to sit in the corner and just suck my thumb. I'm just telling you.
All day, sis.
I think there's space for that, Erica. We could arrange that. Yeah. In fact, I think we should make that advice for AJ on the first segment of 707.
Yeah, sure.
Right. I lost my spot again. Who was it? Escape Artist is up next. Escape, you still with us? All right, she might have stepped away for a second. Dealing with them babies. Yeah, trying to put the baby to sleep. I figured. All right, so Nemo and Gustav wanted to do a collab. I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know what's about to happen.
It is, but I think Marissa was going to read, right?
She is. She's on the list.
No, Whenever. The boss lady will tell me when. But I will say the last time Nemo did a collab with someone on Word is Right, it was phenomenal. So like, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm not going first.
Okay. Yeah. This is neurodivergent versus.
Follies and fallacies, defying analyses, dreams and illusions, powerful delusions, the seeds of destruction undermine your construction. Enter at your own risk, erase the hard disk, leave a message at the tone, then please put down your fucking phone. Lather, rinse, repeat. Refuse to accept defeat. Stop to see the beauty around you. Don't let the bastards confound you. Believe in yourself. It's the only way. Suffer no fools and live for today. I'm neurodivergent. I'm the Godhead emergent.
Endless emergencies, pointless insurgencies. In a state of confusion, it is all a delusion. Why accept the vain seduction when all that comes is soul reduction? The vows they speak are asterisked. Your friends will all be stopped and frisked. These golems made of flesh and bone would like to buy an ice cream cone. Only with your guests replete can you hit the big delete. Someday these ties will no longer bind you. Until that day, let the good leaf unwind you. It's upside down, the acrobats say, illuminated by yesterday. I'm neurodivergent, the garbage phoenix resurgent.
Blindly following, pig-like wallowing, climb out of the sty. Don't be that guy. Put down the shit sandwich. Adopt a new plan which will help us overcome. There is no rule of thumb. Bring peace to all lovers as the UFO hovers and aliens beckon. It's true, I reckon, that love conquers all. Winter, spring, summer, fall. A plan for all seasons with no rhyme or reasons. I'm neurodivergent. My words are urgent.
Like a bird on the wing, learn to dance, learn to sing. It doesn't matter how high you fly. Your body falls down the day you die. Now you're stuck in a ditch. Well, ain't that a bitch? Your comeuppance has come. You cannot say that you're stunned. It's under your covers. It starts with our mothers. The show begins in a second. To the stage I am beckoned. These walls will fall. They'll be having a ball. The goth girls are grieving. These fields aren't Elysian. I'm neurodivergent. Ley lines convergent.
Transphobia stupid. Arrows from Cupid pierce your heart. Now where to start? Love knows no gender. Refuse to surrender to the mindless hatred. Is nothing sacred? Feel it in your bones. For that love you Jones. Try to remember January to December, all the year round. Fall into the sound of love made manifest. Trust me, it's the best. My neurodivergent love song is all right. It's never wrong.
Your line has been muted. Your rug has been scooted. Your scandalous art is coming apart. You've been on a bender, now you're stuck to a fender. Feeling raw, being naked, your flaws are paraded. On and on with their baloney, their heads are full of mascarpone. Some you chop and some dismember. Burn it all and smell the ember. When the drinks are finally downed, they'll find an old queen newly crowned. Thick of neck and slight of wrist, the #1 somnambulist. This neurodivergent love story has come to a close in all its glory.
The poem is done.
And we've rocked to the core.
We hope you had fun. Because there ain't any more. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm ending my next poem like that. Ain't no more. Everybody go home. That was beautiful. Thank you. Up next, and I'm adding CP Mays to the list because I want to hear CP Mays and he ain't got a choice because that's, that's what I do. he ain't got a choice. But Marissa's up next. She's out there being all modest in the comments. As we all know, Marissa is the CEO and owner of The Word Is Right, and Redder Green Brooks, my publisher, many of our publisher. She is up next to bless us on the mic.
All right, I'm so excited. Tonight has been like amazing. So thank you, Shockie, for bringing these amazing people to your show. In honor of our amazing hosts, our host and featured tonight, I'm gonna do my piece. I need to see. It's like a little dark in here. I just finished dinner. All right, there we go. So this is from the Out Loud anthology. This is our LGBTQ anthology. It's a literary art anthology that we put out. So if you're not sure like what to get a friend or family member for a gift, this is an incredible gift to give them. Here we go. Shh. Don't say gay. It's a gateway drug. Well, here's what I say to your shushing. Gay, 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 motherfucking gay. I will say gay anywhere I want, anytime I want, because I am not against the law. We are not against the law. And if you say it is the law, then the law is wrong. Laws written by straight white men with their dicks so far up in the Bible, hoping their own gay tendencies won't send them to hell, and pray no one talks about private parts. Laws championed by scared adults who make their problems their children's problems, who haven't unpacked their own crap, so they pass around trauma instead of progress at the dinner table. We need to say gay. We need to say gay often and early while valuing people equally. Tell me, what age do you think children should know their gender? Dress them in blue or pink. Give them titles boy or girl. Which bathroom to use? When we all shit. When is it age appropriate to learn compassion and community, acceptance and empathy, to teach our children that curiosity won't kill them, that the adults won't shame them for their questions, and it's completely fucking normal to feel different than you look or been told you have to be? What is the age of consent for kids who just want to please? Who can't say no, since no was never taught that it's a whole fucking answer, please? Queer kids know, and they know early how they feel inside about who they are and what they want. Have you ever talked to a trans kid? Those are some of the strongest humans you will ever meet, if they live, if they choose to live, if they don't get killed. Education is based on fact and study, so educate yourself. Fact. This year, 2 out of 10 high school kids will seriously consider or attempt suicide. Almost half are gay. Of the ones who survive, 80% will attempt again in 6 months. And if you say, I don't have kids, it's not my problem, shame on you. Children are the responsibility of the community. You could be a safe adult for them. You could be a friend. Gay is not a clinical condition. Gay children are not under a spell. This is not a learned behavior. Children cannot catch gay. What they can catch is hate, bullies, bullets, beatings, homelessness, abuse, starvation, trafficking, trauma, rape, death. They can catch it like a cold. Of all the things we have to talk to our kids about in school: fire drills, lockdowns, bullying, active shooters, police brutality. How in the actual fuck is gender identity and sexual orientation the big no-no? Oh no. Have convos with your kids, validate their questions, and educate yourself. Change the way we see each other, treat each other, love each other. I won't go quietly into the abyss of censorship. I say gay. What do you say?
I was going to be inappropriate, but I decided not to. Y'all know that new song? I don't even know the name of the song, but she's like, bend that ass over. Let that thing breathe. Anyway, Ratchet. Yes, the Out Loud anthology. I got a few copies if anybody wants one. I still have a few copies of my notebook as well. This ain't about me, but you know I'm always gay might be contagious. It might be. I'm gonna go around touching people. You know what? That sounded wrong. I take it back. But thank you, Marissa.
Oh, no, she didn't.
But up next we got Angel Kim. I forgot your poet name. I'm sorry, but we have Angel Kim up next. You got something for us?
Hey, can y'all hear me okay? Because I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of glitching in and out. Okay. You just call me AK. Everybody just calls me AK. But yeah, just short for Angel Kim. And it's a pleasure to be here tonight. The feature was, oh my God, it was an experience. So I'm so glad I was able to catch that experience. I'll get right into it. Knock knock. Who's there? Predators lurking around every corner, wolves in sheep's clothing, preying on the innocence of children, deceiving young minds, coming at you every which way from Sunday to the next day, hoping someday they'll capture you. Run. Don't stop. Make all the noise. Scream if you have to. Don't let them catch you slipping on that slippery slope, lusting after your children. As their hands become as their hands try to take hold of young souls that'll be forever lost in the ether, never to return again. Bodies return to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. This ain't no pixie dust taking you to the Netherlands to play with the Lost Boys. What's left are images on shirts with halos, wings, and words saying rest in peace as families grieve, all because someone got too lax and posted pictures on the internet, proud parents boasting accomplishments, dropping subliminal messages with school names on jerseys and tees, competitions holding plaques and trophies, oblivious to the demons lurking behind the screens. Protect your babies. Stop letting them succumb to the vultures lurking, watching them twerking while you think it's cute, dressing tots like dots. They're just waiting to get their rocks off. They are coming for them, tapping away at screens, hoping that they keys unlock doors, gaining access to your kids, the ones you haven't already given them access to. These kids are our future. But what future do they have if we fail as protectors? We have to protect them at all costs. With adults pretending to be kids using AI pics and voices, they are on the prowl. Pay attention to what they're doing and watching when you're not around. It's molding your minds with their it's molding your minds with bended delusions, leaving them with their own conclusions while you're working your fingers to the bone or simply watching TV. These devices are left raising your kids, locking them inside, eyes locked on screens, as Snapchat, YouTube, and TikTok become the new food, feeding their minds that are bottomless pits holding knowledge, no matter what it may be. And when their souls are done and their shit comes out smelling like boo-boo instead of pretty, perfect roses, don't shed any tears while you're sitting in front of the police or pleading cases in front of judges, trying to bring them back home, waiting to see if they're going to be in the morgue or locked behind bars, hoping they get scared straight before they go straight in the ground. Remember, it's all because you failed as to protect your babies.
All right, we're gonna have to put a 47 at the end of that. AK-47.
I was thinking the same thing even before she started speaking.
But she spoke and you just heard like those rounds. Rat-a-tat-tat. All right. Thank you. Thank you. And
Thank
you were
y'all.
nervous. You didn't have to be nervous.
I was nervous.
That was
Thank
dope.
you.
All right. Up next, we are forcing CP May. CP May is you want to be my feature February 28th?
Sounds like fun.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the calendar. But yeah, let me hear something.
Ooh. Okay. It's called always non-refundable. Your insecurities got abandonment issues. Your abandonment issues, codependency issues, have fears of rejection. You're passive aggressive. Don't doubt my demons never shut their mouth. Unlike Christ, who was raised on the third, I wasn't raised off a box full of tissues. When they come for you, and they will come, remind yourself, you're not washed up yet. If it bleeds, you can kill it. If it breathes, it's huntable. Final breaths are always non-refundable. Hell on earth is fresh out of vacation days, and there's only half a carton of almond milk in the fridge, and I'm way past spent. Passing off another child-proof prescription cap off. As a graduation cap off. As a milestone off, slightly in left brain off, getting for great sakes brain to keep up or keep down the liquor. Tomorrow's karma has already taken off with a half-naked hangover, getting dressed up in an insecurity to be worn at another one of my epic pity parties tonight. My cheeks are a garage where I park my problems, knowing that I can't stop misspelling I love myself. My tongue rides around dictionaries with no collision insurance. If we were meant to be God's little proteges, then heaven must be a place where broken toys go to play. If God doesn't speak American, we're all fucked. The meek, the Messiah, and the rest of middle management still believes that Jesus stole the election, still stay storming the Capitol, still kept in collection plates. Sometimes our living gods deserve an unemployment check, and I won't live long enough to watch my why won't you give up into going down without a goddamn back room brawl, slugfest. Hey, too much pain. Just go ahead and tell this can't be life that believing in death died the moment we realized that the devil was a lie yesterday. A year-long argument with myself ended up with a fist fight with the maybe if I tell all my I love yous to go fuck themselves for long enough, might always remind myself that I'm a child of God. Will stop living like the Bible's just a book club for losers. I've never been impressed with anyone's ability to quote scripture. For even our devils can quote scripture. And I promise Satan can do it even better than you. Our souls are non-refundable. Oh.
That growling was kind of sexy, no hetero, but
I can't stand CP. I can't stand him. I'm just sitting in the corner tonight. I'm sitting in the corner.
I'm gonna start growling in every poem now. Thanks, Shockie.
You got another piece, or was that it?
Oh, yeah. I have another piece. It is called, where did you go? Sorry, give me like 15 seconds. It's called Mouth of a Marine. Okay. 2 tours, 2 sea service deployment ribbons, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, NATO Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Armed Forces Service Medal, Certificate of Commendation, Meritorious Commendation, Rifle Expert Shooting Badge. 3 of my band of brothers never made it home alive. Another a failed suicide attempt. Me, 2 murder trials. Hashtag Mouth of a Marine. Hashtag Marine Corps made. Hashtag PTSD. Hashtag Pen named me. Hashtag CP Mays. Have you ever made a goddess bite her lip? Made splinters jump off the cross through his wrist? Made from a carpenter's son's last supper's toothpicks, I am the razor blade that razor blades shave with. Hashtag mouth of a Marine. Hashtag Marine Corps made. I'm a thunderstorm. I'm a tornado. I'm a category hot 5 guard. I'm a Marine. I'm a motherfucking hurricane. I'm an I don't give a good goddamn trapped in an I don't give a fuck's body. So tell the mirror to go tell darkness that last year I just couldn't afford God's light for you. Stop fist fighting lightning over lightning, May. Stop misplacing your prescription shot glasses, May. Stop doing donuts tipsy drunk around her halo maze, and stop playing with your penis as if it's a pinata a pretty girl can knock the candy right out of. Make no mistake, her matchstick mouth's beautiful, as if it was a second chance in a second language to speak liquid, sexy skin fluidly. I hung my halo on the coat rack in her smile and begged vocal cords in her heartstring session skin to sweat me a symphony. Oh, believe me, beautiful, I've left cave paintings inside the walls of women and walked away from them pissed with whiskey on my breath and water turned into wine in my liver. Fresh kept razors kept in medicine cabinets, kept open doors above your wrist, kept ashtrays filled with cute charred cigarette butts, filled with cute stoner half lipstick stained joints, empty high-end beer bottles on the kitchen counter, and 4-stain Malbec and Merlot wine glasses laying fetal position in the kitchen sink. All of our former lives held their lighter fluid hands together as they burned bridges and flags in our name. Hashtag mouth of a Marine. Hashtag Marine Corps made. Hashtag pin named me. Hashtag CP Mays. Thank you.
Hashtag, are you kidding me? Thank you so much, CP.
Oh, thank you all.
Just so amazing.
That is such a magnificent poem, and you
Thank you.
perform it so well. It's one I always enjoy.
Oh man, that means a lot. Thanks, Nemo. Thanks.
Yes. And CP, Kenneth asked for your IG handle so he can follow you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thank
Up
you.
next, if you don't know Kenneth, Kenneth is the runner of Charm City Slam. Yes, Terry, I can put you on the list. Up now we have Janaya on fire. But I will put you on the list as well, Terry Rose. Janaya, you there?
Yes, I'm a little nervous, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Don't get nervous.
I gotta be nervous after that, but I'm taking your pick and I'm gonna follow you. But yeah. What I brought today was a piece I just wrote yesterday, so bear with me. I heard it all before. Why are we still talking about what you did? I heard it all before. Why are we still having a discussion about it? You said you ain't do it, so I keep talking about it. You feeling like a broken heart, and you feeling like a stink smell of sunflower. That's the reason you keep talking about what you did. We gotta keep moving on. Can't stay too long from this BS discussion. I know what you did was the truth. I ain't gotta keep moving from the issue. I'm going to have a big smile on my face when we keep moving from the trash pressure you think you are. Why everything gotta happen to good people we are. And I know you say you didn't build this trauma on me. Blood is supposed to be thicker than water. I wish it never happened to me. It hurts so bad for sure. To choose to believe you and instead of me, I feel like I walked 5,000 miles and I still heard it all before. So let's keep it up with God and see what He do. We all know God will seek upon the ones who have done something to them. I just wish she would believe me and know I won't tell a lie about what happened to me. To this day, I will heard it all before till I'm dead and gone. This pain and trauma will never leave me. In a tiny trauma town of Clinton. In my life, I just want everyone to know he ain't who y'all think he is. Peace.
Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful. Did you have another piece or just the one?
I can read
Okay.
this one that I did from my work from Black North. So it was synesthesia. So here y'all go. Scared for my life. Grandma going to the hospital had me scared for my life. Yes, I know she was okay and was just going through COPD. At that moment, she called me. I thought life was done for her at 7 o'clock a.m. Sunday morning. I didn't want to experience my grandma going through COPD again. I will always be scared for my life. If she ever called me early morning again, I would say the reason is I don't want to experience another phone call. It's because that's how we found out about my papa passing at 3 o'clock a.m. Red anxiety and blue trauma already had me scared for my life. How would I be able to get through if it was my only grandma time to be with the Lord? I definitely wouldn't be able to feel my pain anymore or be able to taste how life goes on without my only grandma. Her grandma's smile smelled like a beautiful blossom flower. I will no longer be scared for my life. While I have her around will be by my side. I just don't know how scared for my life I would be if grandma left me today because of the red anxiety and blue trauma I'm going through in this crazy lifetime. As life goes on in this crazy world, I know grandma will have her time to go when God take her. But I just don't know how I would be scared for my life and feel like a red broken heart. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate your vulnerability. And obviously, I hope everything goes well with your family as well, especially during this time of year. It's tough. Um, Up next, we got Marianne Peterson. You still here, Marianne?
Yes.
All right.
This one is called Cries from Heaven. I wrote on the 26th of this month. The cries from heaven. Cries of what are you doing to humankind? So many mass shootings happen. There are cries from heaven. The angels are saying, what are you thinking? There are cries from heaven. The angels are saying, why don't you care about others? There are cries from heaven. The angels are saying, why are you wrecking Mother Earth? Tears fall from heaven. They are saying you need to change before it's too late. That's it for that one. Then I'll do this one. It's called Face of a Champion. It's based on a writing prompt. The writing prompt was Face of a Champion. And this one I wrote on the 19th of this month. How the face of a champion. I endured a lot of abuses. I survived them all. How the face of a champion. Nobody can put me up against a wall again. How the face of a champion, because I'm a survivor. That's it for that one.
Thank you. And your pieces are short. Did you want to do a third one?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
This one is called In the Labyrinth of the Mind, and it's based on writing prompt. The writing prompt was In the Labyrinth of the Mind, and I wrote this on the 17th of this month. In the labyrinth of the mind, I see the abuses I endured. In the labyrinth of the mind, I see positives as well. In the labyrinth of the mind, I see where I was. In the labyrinth of the mind, I see where I am at now. I like the present. I do not like the past. That's it for that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's Marianne Peterson, Miss Straight No Chaser, working on her 12th book?
11th and 12th.
11th and 12th book. Definitely check Amazon and grab one of those for the holiday season. Help a girl out. And then next we got Terry Rose Judson. That's my poetic beauty. You still there?
Yeah.
There she is.
I've got a bunch of questions about different things that are happening around here, but I won't get into any of that. Okay, so let me get into what I wanted to put in there. Ask my therapist the same things: the who, what, where, when, why, and we probe my mind to answer life's tough questions, the ones we dread because it is evidence that we've been showboating or just lazy with our limited time here on the blue ball. Why are we not more productive? Why did I quit my piano lessons? Why do I quit everything? This is how she gets the big money to cut through all the crap. I, for one, would not want her job of examining this chameleon. There is no real me, only excuses. That's one piece. Next piece. Who, what, where, when, how am I me? Me, me, me. Aren't you tired of hearing about me? What about you? What, who, what, where, when, how are you? I am developing a case of amnesia, trying to figure out how I can turn this poem into one about the moon. And lastly, still trying to figure out who this person in the mirror is and what am I doing with the rest of my life. But I get distracted too easily by my pain. The questions do not remain the same. I want to learn how to feel better so that I can be the real me that is not hated by my kind, those who I'm forced to have to deal with, who ostracize me. Sometimes I feel so empty inside. Perhaps I will figure out how I'm going to get through this before I die. But getting through this implies life is nothing more than an unpleasant task. And I'll read you one more because that one is kind of on the downbeat.
All right.
Find a happy place, they say. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, imagine a scene such as this one. Do not be obscured by the fluffy clouds. Present yourself as sacrifice. Become like water. Hover over the stillness of this body like a spirit-filled cool mist. Rise to the heavens, warming as sun rises, and set yourself down upon the surface. Touch rocky shore temporarily, grounding. Feel the presence of God. The circle of life begins again.
Were those new pieces, Terry?
Not really. They're just little little ideas, like little pieces of things that they haven't become any huge monolith or anything yet. They're just, little spurts of inspiration.
Yeah, they were just a little bit more deep than you usually do. And I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
All right. Who else did I have? Like I said, I'm not going to do a second round, but I do. Kelly asked if she could do another piece, and who am I to tell my poetry crush no? So
You are always too kind to me. It's a new piece and I'm still workshopping it, so totally open to feedback. And I got my hair under control, so I no longer look like I lead a 1980s emo techno band. That's me being up in the lingo at the time. All right. It's so new it has no title. You have my permission to stop worrying about your life story, your legacy, your biography. You're welcome. You see, stories are an act of construction, the scaffolding on which we hang reality, sawing off the parts that don't quite fit, nailing down the ones we want to remember. Stories are an act of carpentry. I too have wondered what my story will be, the beginning I have written, the middle I am living, and the end I have yet to see. How will I be remembered? I wonder. What story will I leave? But the idea of a single story denies the humanity of me. There is no one story that will ever encapsulate the messy, meandering, meek and mighty, mindful, mindless mindfuck of being me. Or you. You see, we are each a universe entire, vast and unknowable. the moon, stars, and glow of us. There are many theories. There are so many theories. But the answers we get only lead to more queries, new questions, directions, often with interesting intersections. You see, science and faith are simply two sides of the same coin we created. As we sorted the world into categories, running around like a toddler with a label maker, frantically pasting new words onto foreheads, deciding that this is this and that is that. Phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Religion, sexuality, gender, race, class. We group based on common characteristics and separate based on differences, but we are continually finding commonalities that we did not expect, differences unanticipated. The more we try to shore up these walls, the more nuanced we get, the more holes that we find in these lines we have lied into the world. Wide gaping chasms through which whole entities, whole ideas, whole people can travel, defying our attempts to contain them. You see, we tell stories to children to help them see. But that doesn't stop when we are grown. We just stop calling them stories. Instead, we call them art or philosophy or tradition or religion or science. The more you know, the more you realize you do not know. And perhaps that is the one truth, that the search for truth is the only true thing we will ever find. There is nothing wrong with having stories. They are as vital a creation as any tool or weapon forged, so long as we remember that though they can contain truth, they are not truth. They are our creations. And like us, they are fallible, they are malleable, they are insufficient. You are not a story, though there may be many about you. You will always be so much more. You see, you defy absolute knowing.
I like that. I
Wow.
like that. Yes.
Yeah, wow, that's really good.
Kelly is awesome.
What'd you say, Erica?
I said Kelly is awesome.
Oh, absolutely. I just don't want to be in one. That was amazing. Tonight has been amazing. Is there anyone else who wants to read before I round us out, and let us go? Don't be afraid to speak. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. Well, we are here every second and fourth Wednesday. Next Wednesday, January 10th. Our feature is going to be my girl Layla, Sincerely L, featuring. So definitely come back. Yeah, see, you got my book, CP. You forgot you had it. So definitely come back. I'm gonna send you guys links. I do that, all the time. But that's because I want y'all to come. I like when I'm surrounded by you guys. You make me feel good. So thank you for everyone. I'm gonna read this piece and then we will close out. It's a short one. It was I don't remember the prompt. It was with Black Noise. He and failing today at the promotion. Priceless and Priceless, help me. What? Him and his other poet,
Pyro.
Pyro, that's it. Pyro do a workshop on Tuesdays, a writing workshop. So definitely, follow him on social media so you can check that out. They do kind of a split. They do the writing prompts in the beginning, and Black teaches you different poetry terminology and things that you can use in your poetry. Last week was using synesthesia. So you learn a lot. And then the second half, they work on performance poetry, being a better performer. So if that's something that's interesting to you, definitely check them out. The Word is Right, which this platform that we are on, ran by Marissa Prada, has things every day of the week, open mics, workshops, etc. This Saturday, we're gonna have karaoke with Terry Rose Jertson. So if you think you can sing or if you don't, because I sing terribly and I still show up every time. So definitely show up to that this Saturday, please. Nice little, just have a little bit of fun with us before the new year. We're not having a New Year show this year, so Terry's gonna uh, break us off into the new year. All right, enough of my rambling. This piece. America, been shoved down our throats so long, the taste of blood is as common as water. I hear America and the sky turns red, violent winds slamming against buildings, discontented chaos. Say America and my skin becomes a mountain range, fear skiing from its peaks into valleys of paranoia, uncharted territory. Afraid, colonists will claim it theirs, call it united, while dividing it up amongst its statehood. The country, a melting pot of rotting roadkill, piercing the nostrils, and us, salivating in our Pavlovian response to believe this is the greatest, tattooing pride across our chests to cover the massacre it once was. Say America and my knees buckle, arthritic devotion, both prayer and surrender, burning bush and pillar of salt. Hear America and regurgitate propaganda all over tables full of peace treaty and ceasefire. Lovesick on a daily dose of war. America, America, 'tis of thee. My country, 'tis of thee. So that's that piece. Other than that, thanks, guys. Thank you for showing up for our feature. It's amazing. I think she left already. Amazing feature and amazing pieces from all of you guys. I loved it. Hope to see you guys somewhere else tonight. I know Witz is not doing his, but there are other open mics, so maybe I'll run into you guys.
Shockie, that piece was incredible. It was amazing.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for this space. This has been a really wonderful way to spend an evening. So, and thank you everyone for all your amazing poetry.
Thanks, Nemo. People are gonna start to think I pay you.
You don't?
No, I don't. I don't pay that guy. All right, guys. Everyone have a good night. CP, I'm gonna message you about the February 28th. Cool. Thank you. Night.